it working?
The company's 24-hour control room will be alerted. And naval patrols in the area can rush to its rescue.
System all okay.
So where then is the magic button?
We have a emergency button on board the ship. I cannot tell you where the button is for security reasons, of course.
Even if the captain never makes it to the button, the alert still goes out when a ship deviates from its route. That's usually a sign that there's been an attack.
They range from small group of pirates who just go on board to steal for their own requirement to a bigger syndicates. Okay? They go on board and held the crew for ransom, ask for big monies, which we have ever faced before. Okay? There are some serious cases where they kill the crews and throw them overboard.
Seven hours into its port stay, the mood at the megaship has become less intense. On the mega crane, after a full day's shift, and with its target on track, Kang finally heads down to spend what's left of this Sunday with his young son.
Definitely he knows I'm operating a crane. And whenever we pass by Keppel Road, he will point, my crane number 20. He knows that I'm working on a key crane. And he's happy, of course, he's curious, he's young, he's also very curious, but too bad I can't bring him up the crane. Maybe with this program, yes, you can see what actually I'm doing every day.
Yes, where's GM21 reply?
But the guys at traffic control aren't going home just yet.
VLCC now, this is VTRS West, over.
Singapore is home to some of the world's largest oil refineries. This afternoon, a tugboat has been dispatched to guide in a tanker heading for the oil terminal, where massive amounts of crude oil is refined. If this tug gets it wrong, all traffic could come to a standstill.
VLCC now, this is Singapore VTRS.
The VLCC Nile. Its very name sums up this modern sea monster, a very large crude carrier. Only a third of the VLCC is above water, the rest weighted down by tons of crude. The VLCC's route around the port is confined strictly to deep waters. So at traffic control, every ship around it is warned to stay clear.
No, we don't want to pay.
When a VLCC starts to cross, it's like you have a big fella running across a busy road, and everybody have to be really, keep an eye, because he being constrained by draft, probably it is easier for you to avoid her rather than she avoid you.
Hancock guides the VLCC slowly through the deep water channel, obeying each rule of the port's traffic separation scheme. This system runs the port's shipping lanes like the streets of a city block, with one-way lanes, traffic junctions, yellow boxes, and danger zones.
This little box that you are looking at in the traffic separation scheme is what we term as precautionary areas. It's something like a T-junction, okay? You're coming out from the side road to join the main road. You have to look left, look right, left again, make sure that everything is clear before you drive on to join the main road.
It is not like you see a road, you have divider nicely paid, you got a barrier to say, yeah, okay, I'm keeping within this lane. At sea, it is imaginary. It is all plotted on a chart, and then navigators are trained, competent to plot their position at sea.
Out at sea, 4 tugboats keep the VLCC strictly along the route planned by traffic control.
Pilot set now, ready to pull.
A tug of war breaks out between the boats and Goliath. If the VLCC slips away and gets grounded, the world's busiest port could be shut down by a massive oil slick. Crude oil is one of the most volatile cargoes in the port. And when it's time for berthing, all it takes is one wrong move.
We request right ahead. Last, but we request right forward. Aim, line all clear. We fear because this is a terminal. Once any bang to the terminal, it might be dangerous. It can explode.
It will take 48 hours to pump out all the crude. When that happens, poisonous fumes will engulf the dock, so everyone is looking for a quick getaway.
Cap, Setna line, all clear, Cap?
Okay, sir. Finished. Thank you very much.
Okay then, Cap. Thank you, Cap. Good day to you, Cap.
A safe berthing is always a relief, because in the past, things have gone wrong. In October 1997, a warning goes out from traffic control.
In White Cross, there is a VLCC tanker. She's heading in the wrong lane. Bearing from your west is approximately 068 degrees. Range about 2.4 nautical mile.
Two very large crude carriers are headed for a collision. 6 more warnings go out. Finally, the two ships had just 10 minutes to turn around.
We have a collision!
When I reached the site, there was a heavy smell of petroleum. It was very heavy smell everywhere. And using the boat, we moved around the ships and we moved in various areas. And every area that we covered, we shined the what do you call it, searchlight onto the sea, and we can see black oil. When daylight broke, you can see that the whole sea was all covered with black oil.
Port officials were faced with an oil slick that threatened to paralyze the port and close the main shipping lane between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The port now turned to what was then a new technology. Armed with predictions of current and wind directions, they focused on the vulnerable spots and licked the slick in 3 weeks. Back then, this massive spill was the port's worst nightmare. That has since changed.
The additional new element which has come about after the September 11 incident is the security. So safety now includes security.
15 September 2004. The world's news cameras scramble for a shot. 4 hours out of port, sailing in international waters, a ship has been hijacked and its crew taken hostage. The navies of 5 countries joined forces for the rescue. This afternoon, it was just an exercise, an annual war game between the Singapore Navy and its allies. Countries with much to lose if the sea lanes into the port are not kept safe and open. As airports around the world tighten security, ports like Singapore are bracing themselves to be the next terrorist target.
As we make our approach, like usual, keep your eyes out. Report any personnel you see.
We mapped out what are the likely scenarios. There could be a container, there's some bomb, some high explosive loaded, and then there's a how are we going to detect this, how are we going to take care of this. Another scenario would be a small boat packed with explosives or even can drive into one of these sensitive vessels and can be a very disastrous kind of scenario or incident.
The Port of Singapore is home not just to megaships, but also to thousands of small vessels ferrying sailors and supplies. In the wrong hands, any one of these could become a deadly weapon. It hasn't happened in Singapore, but it has happened before. 6 October 2002, a small boat believed to be linked to Al-Qaeda rams into a French tanker, the Limber. On board, 158,000 tons of crude oil. Two years earlier, another small vessel, packed with explosives and manned by suicide bombers, hits the American warship, the USS Cole. 17 servicemen die in the attack. Half the world away, port officials in Singapore start a trial to install tracking devices to keep an eye on small boats in port.
Oh, Captain,